Imagine you writing the perfect content on how to bake a cake. But when somebody search it on Google how to bake a cake, your content does not show up. And one of the biggest reasons why your content is not matching up with the query is you might not be doing the semantic SEO on your website. Semantic SEO is all about matching the content to a search query, and this is the technique all the professional SEOs and big website uses to match their content to search query and rank a single page for multiple keywords, not one keyword, multiple keywords. Okay, so let's understand how we can use semantic SEO so you can match your content against the search query, because I think you're smart enough to understand that when your content matches to search query, your content will rank higher and get more views. And guys, semantic SEO very simple concept, and today I'll show step-by-step process, real example how to implement semantic SEO on your website. And before we start, let me highlight the importance and benefit of semantic SEO. So first of all, it's going to strengthen topical authority and EAT of your website, which is very important, so that your website rank on top and you get a lot of traffic. Second is future proofing against algorithm updates. So you don't need to worry about in future Google changes algorithm, what's going to happen. If you're implementing semantic SEO, your content gonna be future proof. Third and very important thing which I want to highlight is rank for more keywords and topics. So if you implement semantic SEO, your single page could rank for multiple keywords and multiple topics. Next, will match user intent more accurately. That's the whole point behind this video. Fifth benefit will boost visibility in feature snippets and voice search, because nowadays really important you optimize your content to voice search and to be appear in a feature snippet given by AI searches. And the last point would be improve engagement, increase CTR, reduce bounce rate. When you have this on your website, even you have less impression, you have more clicks on your website, and you make ultimately more money or get more leads. So in today's video, just by implementing semantic SEO, we're gonna get all these benefits in one go for your website. So if you're serious about growing a blog, website, or a business on internet, I highly recommend you to subscribe to the channel right now. Because in this channel, I teach how to create effective website. I teach core concepts and real strategies to rank on top and get a lot of traffic. And guys, subscribing is totally free. It just takes a few seconds, and I really appreciate that. With that said, let's continue the semantic SEO tutorial. To understand semantic SEO, we need to understand intent. And intent is everything. If you understand what is the intent, I think you will understand 80% of the semantic SEO. We all know the general definition of intent, but here we're talking about the search intent. What is a search intent? It's the real reason why someone types a query into Google. Are they trying to learn something? Are they trying to buy something? Are they trying to compare some products? Or they want to visit a website, or they want to find something? So first intent of a user would be informational. They want to learn something, for example, how to bake a cake. And to satisfy this intent of users, you can create different kind of content. For example, how-to guides, tutorials, FAQs, educational blog posts, explainer videos. Second kind of intent will be transactional intent. They want to buy or doing something. For example, buy cake mix online. And to satisfy this intent, we create product pages, sales pages, checkout pages, limited time offers, service booking pages. The next intent would be commercial investigation, like researching option. For example, best bakeries near me, or the best computer for video editing, or best mobile phone under $500. To satisfy this kind of intent, we can create comparison articles, best of lists like 10 best mobile phones in 2025, product reviews, buying guides, and case studies. And last intent would be navigational intent, finding a specific site or a product. For example, Julia's Child recipes. If you don't know, Julia Child was a very famous chef. She recreated a lot of French recipes, and there's a movie also created on Julia's Child. Very interesting movie if you haven't watched that movie. In another example, Vikas Khanna's roasted peaches with brown sugar recipe. Somebody want to find this recipe. So this is kind of a navigational intent. So what you can do, first of all, if it is your brand, you can create your own brand homepage to optimize for this kind of searches. Login pages or visual tool pages of a specific website, or contact pages, or products or feature landing pages. Or you can also create, for example, Julia Child recipes, a summary page about this. So basically, we can divide the intent in 4 categories. There can be more intent, but to make things simple, we are taking only 4 such intents which are widely used on internet. And guys, if you understand intent, you will understand almost everything about semantic SEO. And to understand, we are going to take some example right now. And guys, why we are talking about intent today? Because I want you, every time you write a blog post, or every time you create a blog post or any content on your website, you start with the intent. Intent is the first thing you should write on the top of your blog post, that what is the intent behind this post or a page or a content I'm writing for. And even before writing the blog post, if you get the right intent, you have done the 80% of semantic SEO work. Okay, let's take some example to understand intent in more deep. So first of all, let's see informational intent. So query 1 could be how to bake a cake. What user want to do here? So user goal is to learn how to do it, learn how to cake. So this is informational intent. So now if you want to write a content, you can write a content which says create how to bake a cake from scratch, which includes step-by-step instructions, ingredient list, troubleshooting tips. For example, why did my cake sink? Why did my cake did not get good color? Why it's so hard or too soft? Why this works? Because it directly reaches what user want to learn. What to avoid? Do not pitch products. They are not ready to buy. They are here to learn how to bake a cake. They're not here to buy the product. So this is you have to avoid. If you follow this intent, your content will be matched to the user search query. Let's take example of this first intent, how to bake a cake. For example, if somebody write here how to bake a cake, this is the first link which is coming here in the search result. Don't worry, we are using traditional Google search. I tried, it's the same results on AI mode also. If I open the blog post, we can see few things here. First of all, we see EAT here on the top directly, that is a very good rating and a lot of reviews also. Then we see simple video here and a lot of images about the cake. Preparation time, cooking time, total time, how many servings are there and the size of the cake. And you can see in a very easy way to answer all the questions for a beginner who want to learn how to bake a cake. And then we have clear ingredients here, what ingredients we need. And then you can see we have step 1, one line is here, one image. Step 2, image, step 3 image, step 4 image, step 5 image, step 6 image, that's it. This is the whole blog post about this. And then you have a lot of reviews here and a lot of community talking about this cake. If I take another example from the 10th page of this search result, where intent is not matching. So this is a website which is coming on the 10th page. Why? Because the intent is not matching the search query. The search query is how to bake a cake. And the permalink says how to bake a cake. And title says how to bake a cake, but 11 tips for perfect cake. 11 tips for perfect cakes. This is more towards a advanced user. This is not somebody for beginners because tips are given to the people who already know how to do this stuff. And when we scroll the page, you can see here we have this big image here, and then you can see we read through the recipe. I don't understand what is this tab. They're telling us to read the recipe, and then we have unrelated video here, and then we have the steps here too, but still a lot of distraction is here. You can see it is not as simple as this one. This is really simple with clear directions for a beginner to understand. And when we scroll the page, they are selling a lot of things here. So you can see intent behind this page is more about selling, not to satisfy users' intent to learn how to bake a cake. So that's why this page is ranking first, because they're not selling anything here. Of course, you can add some affiliate links here. But if you compare the page which is coming on the 10th of this search result, why this coming on 10th? Because intent here is not to learn. Intent here is not informational. They're selling a lot of products here, a lot of affiliate links here, which is not the right thing. So they're not matching the intent. That's why this website is coming on the 10th page and this website is coming on the first search result. Another example could be how to start a SIP in India. User's goal is to understand the process. Content idea could be you can write a guide, beginner guide to starting SIP in India with what is SIP, how it works, step to start one on platform like Zerodha or Grow. What do you need to avoid? Do not promote 5 mutual funds with affiliate links, first educate. Same thing I did here, I searched here. You can see the top ranking article, which again got an explainer video, and then understanding SIP, and then very clearly they explain the how to invest SIP in India. And they have 7 steps here, and then they explain all the 7 steps later in this blog post. That's all they provided. They satisfied the user's intent. The query was how to start a SIP in India, and the user goal was to understand the process. So they just give the all clear instruction directly here, and they satisfy the user intent. So when the user will come here, they're satisfied, they know everything how to start a SIP in India. If I take the example, another page which is ranking on like 10th page here, what they're doing here. You can see the title, how to invest in a SIP, the same title, but when we go to the content, you can see they talk about what is SIP and why it's popular among Indian investor. Benefit for SIP, what is SIP, and a lot of things they explain about it. And then they say how to invest SIP for beginners and very long boring text here. So what's happening here? I want to learn that how to start a SIP. I already know about SIP. So I want to know how to start a SIP. And this article is not really clearly satisfying the intent of the user. And if you look at this example, which is satisfying the intent, you can see, if I scroll the page, I see all the 7 steps. So if you want to write an article for how to invest in a SIP, don't write about what is a SIP. Write about how to start a SIP. And guys, I have created a super effective intent-based cheat sheet which will guide you to write any post with the intent and cover the important points to satisfy their search intent. This is free for channel members. Download now in the description. And if you're not a channel member, please join the channel membership to get this cheat sheet and a lot of other cheat sheet and guide I already created for channel members, which will really help you to grow your website and business. And this is another great way to support this channel. I really appreciate that. Okay, with that said, let's go next intent, which is transactional intent. So for example, query 1 is like buy cake mix online. User goal is to purchase something. In this case, the cake mix. So the content added could be create a product page with cake mix details, price, reviews, shipping, buy now, city, etc. Why it works? Because users get exactly what they are ready to act on. Skip the history of a cake, no one needs that here. Just give them what they're looking for. If I search this on Google here, you can see buy cake mix online. By default, all pages here, all the products are here. And then we have websites here which are offering the products. So if you are a website who are offering products, create a page, product page, to satisfy the transactional intent of the users. If you're somebody who do not sell this kind of product, please do not create a page about it. This is not the perfect intent for your website, because with the Google AI mode nowadays, and even with AI searches, if you're not selling that product, and if somebody is searching with the intent to buy that product, your website will not rank. It's really hard to rank your website for this kind of thing. So please do not create a content to satisfy transactional intent if you don't have that product to sell on your website. And if you have a product to sell, just create a product page with all the details, the title, the description, the prices, stock availability, and reviews if possible, if you want to satisfy the transactional intent of the user. Okay, let's go to next intent, which is commercial intent. For example, query could be best bakeries in New York or in Paris or in New Delhi. The user's goal here is to compare the options. So content ID could be top 5 bakeries in New York. You can add the ratings of the bakeries, photos, specialty cakes, address. Why it will work? Because it will help user to make a choice with clear and local info. What you need to avoid, do not generalize or skip the local info. It's really important. Let's understand this with example. So if I search best bakeries in Paris, this is the first search result. And then I pick another search result from the 10th page. Let's see both of them. So this is the top ranking page. You can see it talks about the different bakeries in Paris. It has got the name, some details, and then hours, address, website, and a clear picture. That's all. And then again some description, and you can see they highlighted what they have in specialty, and then hours, address, website, and a picture. And they cover multiple bakeries in Paris. And you can see it satisfies the intent when people ask best bakery in New York or for example in Paris. They say this is the bakery in Paris. Where it is located, it's the address, there's the website, and there's a real picture from this bakery, and it's very clearly written what they're best in. If we compare another blog which is ranking on 10th, 30 best bakeries for instantly delicious street. You can see when I scroll here, they talk about the best bakeries with mouth-watering pastries. You can see they put the picture of the bakery, but that's all, the name and the picture. There's no address, no hours, and not a lot of detail here. You can see again, Hugo and Victor, no image here. Angelina, no address, no more details here. So if I want to know where this bakery is, I have to go to Google Map and then look for it. So it's not completely satisfying the intent of a user. Where this piece of content is satisfying the intent, is telling a lot of stuff here. Of course, there can be always room for improvement. They can add the ratings here. If somebody from this website is watching this video, you can add the ratings for this bakery in your piece of content. One more example, best protein powders for beginners. The user goal is to research the best protein before buying. So you can create a comparison post saying top 7 protein powder for beginners 2025 edition. And you can include price, pros and cons for all those products, types, whether they are whey protein, whether they are plant-based or different kind of protein, links to reviews. What you should avoid, do not focus only on one product or brand, it defeats the comparison. You need to create a comparison post, because here's the best protein powders for beginners. You can see this plural. Of course, you're focusing on the best protein powder. You can also create a detailed blog post about one specific kind of protein powder. And guys, I know it's taking a lot of time, but please trust me, after watching this video, you will learn a lot of stuff and you will have very clear understanding why your content is not matching to the queries. So please bear with me, watch this video until the end. Comment down below if you don't understand anything. I reply to all the comments on this channel. Okay, let's go to the last intent here, which is the navigational intent. So query would be Julia's child recipe, Vikas Khanna's roasted peaches with brown sugar. User goal is to reach specific brand or sites. If it is your own brand, you should create clear pages with recipes. If not, you can create a review post linking to Julia child recipes or Vikas Khanna roasted peaches, brown sugar. Why it works? Because it gives user direct access to your intended destination. What you should avoid, don't hijack the query with unrelated info or hard sells. For example, when I search for Julia Child recipes, you can see the first website. So the official website, it's ranking here. But if you scroll the page, we can see this website here, Little Pharaoh Kitchen. You can see they satisfy the intent very clearly. So they say the best Julia Child recipes, and then they add the clear picture of Julia Child recipe and then continue reading. So if somebody wants, they can click here and read the complete Julia Child recipe. And did the same thing with all the Julia Child recipes. And I think the intent was satisfied here. One more example we can take, for example, somebody asks for Neil Patel SEO tool. The user goes to access specific site or tool. You can create a content, for example, write how to use Neil Patel Uber says step-by-step tutorial. You can include links, screenshots, and personal use cases, and then you can add a link to go to the specific website. So you are satisfying the intent of the user. You are giving them where to go, how to find the tool. Even you're a little bit hijacking the intent here, because instead of sending them directly to Neil Patel SEO tool website, you are adding more information here. But I think in some cases it really works. What you should avoid, don't redirect to a different tool unless you clearly state it's a comparison. For example, somebody look for Uber suggest tool, please write about Uber suggest tool. Please don't send them to some other tool. Wow, that was all about intent. I hope you understand what is the intent, which is really helpful to do the Semantic SEO website, and 80% work is done. If you understand what is the intent, please like the video. I will understand that this video is helpful. If you do not understand what is the intent, please comment below and help me to know that how I can create my content better, how I can make you understand in a better way that what is the intent or any other concept. Please let me know by liking or commenting on the video. So just writing the clear intent before writing the blog post, 80% work is done. And now let's see how to apply Semantic SEO practical steps on your blog post. So step 1 is research intent and queries. So intent, we already talked about it. But to understand intent more and to find the related queries, what we can do, we can use Google People also ask. For example, you can search your keyword or topic here. Best cake for diabetics. And you can see people also ask. From here, you can all note in a spreadsheet before writing the blog post. So you need to focus on all these things. Because when you collect this data, you know what person want to know. Our intent is to know, can a diabetic person have cake? So you can create multiple blog posts with different intent around this topic. Don't worry, we will cover a very important and secret trick later in this video. Use tools like people also ask, Google Keyword Planner, ask ChatGPT AI tools to know more about the intent. Reddit or YouTube comments to know about the related queries. Or you can use this tool, Keyword Everywhere tool. You can see the lot of topics related to this keyword or query are here. And find the similar phrases like, is there such thing a healthy cake, buy low sugar cake mix, best cake for diabetes. Just write this before writing a blog post. So now once you have all this data, when you search from like different tools like people also ask, Google Keyword Planner, now you need to tailor content to the intent. So this is really important. Your content should be directing to a specific intent. For example, the query is like buy low sugar cake, so it matches to the transactional intent. Best cake for diabetic, it might be informational intent. Is there such a healthy cake? And when you write the content with the matching intent, your content will match the search query and your website will rank and get more views. Okay, third and very important thing is write naturally using semantic keywords. Use synonym and related term. For example, instead of repeating healthy cake 20 times, say low sugar cake, guilt-free sweets, gluten-free baking, wholesome cakes, or cheat day meals, something like this. It's really important when you write the content, you use the synonym word. What you can do, you can write your complete blog post or article, and in the end, you can replace the keyword with synonym keywords or synonym related terms. Include terms like baking tips, cake ideas, easy recipes naturally. Do not force them that you are putting them without context. Do not over-repeat baking recipes, write for people. So do not repeat the single keyword. What people do, like you can see in this example, what you should not do. This healthy cake recipe is the best healthy cake recipe because healthy cake is healthy. A lot of people does it. I know a lot of you do it. I do website review every Wednesday on this channel, and I see a lot of times you guys are doing this. You're targeting your blog post for a keyword. Do not do that. Optimize it for human beings, not for search engine. The time is gone when the keyword based ranking was working. Nowadays, keyword based ranking does not work. It's more semantic SEO. Step 4 is to optimize for features, snippets, and voice search. How we can do that? Use short, direct answers, add FAQ sections. Answer directly for feature snippet. For example, you can write to bake a cake, preheat to 350 degrees. Use lists and tables, for example, for ingredient list. For example, you can add a Q&A on your page. Can I make cake without sugar? Answer directly, yes. Use substitute like dates, honey or stevia. These natural sweeteners reduce calorie and still taste great. What temperature should I bake at? To bake a cake, preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. That's all. Answer directly, short answer, and make them snippable. Step 5 is to add structured data, schema markup. This is a code which tells Google exactly what your content is. For example, for a cake recipe, you can use recipe schema. It tells Google the ingredient, prep time, and rating. So this is a code you can add on your website. If you are using WordPress website, you can use different plugins on WordPress. You can check the link in description for more details. Or you can use the schema generator. I will add the link in description to generate schema for your blog post. For example, you can see this recipe schema. You can see the type is recipe here. Name of the recipe is classic vanilla cake. And there are different details here. You can see the cook time here and you can see the ingredients here. Flour, sugar, eggs, different things. So when you add this kind of stuff, it helps search engine and AI to understand what is this blog post about and to get a lot of data about the blog post directly from the schema markup. There are different kind of schema markup for different kind of blog posts. I'll add the link in the description to know more about those stuff. Sixth and last very important step is to build a topic cluster. Guys, I create a very detailed video on topic cluster. Please watch that video, link in the description, but just to explain you in a very short way here. So what you need to do is, in traditional blogging structure, old ways, still used by many of you, because when I go to your website, you have really no pillar content structure map on your website. You just write article, whatever it pleases you. You do not have a structure to this. For example, your article 1 could be easy like cake recipes, second could be chocolate cake recipes, third could be quick cake recipes. You do not put a lot of strategy into creating the content. So you need to plan your content. So a semantic topic cluster could be, you can create a pillar page, healthy cake baking for beginners, 2000 word detailed blog post, and then you can create 10 to 15 blog posts which are related to the pillar page. So for your pillar page, you can create the cluster content. First could be low sugar ingredient for cakes, informational, tools for healthy baking, mixer, pan and more, commercial intent, best egg replacement for vegan cake, informational, and Julia Child cake mixes, review and compare, navigational intent. So you can mix and match the intent of a blog post, because just by creating information website, you might not get a lot of money. You might need to use the affiliate marketing on your website. You might need to sell the products on your website. So try to implement the mix and match intent. And for channel members, there is a detailed guide about topical authority, how to create the pillar and cluster content. For 20 plus niches, don't forget to download that, link in description. And then 7th and last step will be structure content for both users search engine. How we can do that? You can use clear heading H1, H2, H3. For example, complete guide to healthy cake baking, H1, then H2, step 1, choose the right ingredients. H3 could be best flour for moist cakes, H3 would be natural sweetener. So you can see H2 here is used to the subheadings, and then inside the subheading you use H3. You can see step 1 here is H2 and then step 2 is again H2. Subheading in the main step will be S. So use clear H1, H2, H3 to optimize the content for semantic SEO. Answer question early and clearly, we already talked about it. For example, can you bake cake without oven? Yes, you can use a pressure cooker, steamer or a heavy pan on low flame to bake soft cake without an oven. Use bullet point for clarity, top 3 cake baking tips and then give the tips. Use table for comparison, for example, ingredient, healthy alternative, notes, and then add links with descriptive anchor text. Example, what to do. Want to bake without an oven? Check out our guide on how to bake using a pressure cooker. Do not write instead of how to bake using pressure cooker, click here. Do not do that. Do not write click here. Write the descriptive text and add the link to your pillar content or for your cluster content, depending where you are adding this link. Write for scanners, not for readers. Most users read every word for word they scan. Help them by using short paragraph, 2 to 4 lines, bold important phrases, images or icon, support every point, clear subheading every 200-300 words. So this was a complete tutorial on semantic SEO. I hope you liked the video. I want to tell you that if you really want to succeed in this AI powered world, you need more than AI tools. You need the right strategies, and I share all those high quality knowledge to get real traffic and rankings in this channel. So I highly recommend you subscribe to my channel, and subscribe is totally fair. I really appreciate that. And also don't forget to download the intent cheat sheet and many other materials which are linked in the description, which is free for channel members. But if you're not a channel member, I highly recommend you to join the channel membership to get access of highly effective proven content which I distribute for channel members time to time. And also this is a great way to support the channel. I really appreciate that. And if you think this video is helpful, please watch this video. We'll cover the next steps for your website or blog strategy.